now we have, as I said, a worse situation 20 years later in Afghanistan. A, would you agree with that? And B, if you were president, how would you have handled the Afghan situation?
Well, Bill, it wasn't a question of whether or not we should get out. I think the American people, by and large, agreed that 20 years was more than enough. President Trump made that a staple of his 2016 and 2020 campaign, saying we're going to end these forever wars, including Iraq and Afghanistan. So the question was how we do it. And having worked with President Nixon during the last years of his life, Bill, he and I talked about how we ended Vietnam and the fall of Saigon. And I actually wrote a column about this recently, comparing the fall of Saigon to the fall of Kabul. The question is, how you leave matters as much, if not more, how you fight the war. And so what we have seen is an absolute catastrophic failure on the part of the Biden administration. Trump left a pretty good conditions-based plan for our withdrawal, and Joe Biden threw it out the window and put everything completely backwards. And now we're in a situation, as you point out, where not just the Taliban is stronger than they were 20 years ago, but we're looking at ISIS and Al-Qaeda and Iran and China, all beneficiaries of the way we have left Afghanistan. They are now all stronger and emboldened as a result of this catastrophic withdrawal.
Okay, but give me one specific that you would have done differently than Biden did.
Well, the first thing you do is you make sure that if you are going to fully withdraw and not leave a modest force in place, I would have argued to President Trump to leave the 2,500 troops in place. It was a modest commitment bill that had stabilized Afghanistan and kept the Taliban and Al-Qaeda and the Chinese all at bay. So number one, I would have kept that residual force. Number two, if you're going to proceed with the withdrawal to that level, then you make sure you do it in a logical order. So you do the American civilians first, our Afghan allies that have been clearly vetted. Those go next. Then you withdraw all of our military materiel, all of our weapons, and then you remove the military. You don't do the opposite,
right,
which is what Joe Biden did.
And
also,
Trump,
one last thing, Bill, and this is critical. You maintain the Bagram Air Base. You do not give that up.
Right. I think Trump would have done that. I can't speak to him. I will get it out of him in the history shows, because Afghanistan obviously going to be a big part of our December presentations. Final question. You worked with these pinheads in the Treasury Department for like 3 years. I would have committed suicide if I had to go in there every day and work with bureaucrats in the Treasury Department, but you seem to have liked it. A lot of people, including myself, are very worried about the American economy now, because Biden has no clue about anything. And we reported yesterday that, gas prices are up to about $4.75 in California. $4.75. And this hurts every working individual. You can pay $70, $75 to fill up your tank. I mean, you're not getting a corresponding raise at work for that. So the economy itself, I'm not confident that it will remain stable. How do you see it?
I agree with you on that. When Joe Biden came into office on January 20th, he inherited the fastest economic recovery from any crisis on record. That's what President Trump bequeathed to him. And over the last 9 months, Bill, he has been very busy trying to destroy that economic recovery. What you have laid out is inflation. Every American is experiencing it. All you have to do is go to the grocery store or the gas station, regardless of where you are in the country, and you see those prices climbing. That is a direct result of the $6 trillion so far over the last 18 months that we have pumped down into the system. Now, when you have an emergency like we did last year, emergency level spending is totally logical. The government shut down the economy. Therefore, the government had to step into the breach and make sure the American people got through the acute period of the crisis. But the crisis is now over. The economy is wide open. And yet Joe Biden and the Democrats in Congress want to continue this emergency level spending, including trillions of dollars more. That means that the system is awash in money. You have too many dollars chasing too few goods and services, and that means the price of everything is going up. And it impacts those at the lower end of the income scale, most of all, minorities, working class, middle class folks. Their wages are not growing. Inflation is outstripping that, and so everybody's paycheck is getting squeezed. And if the Democrats get their total desired spending, another about $5 trillion, you can imagine what inflation is going to look like.
Yeah,
This is going to look like child's play.
Hey, I'm sure you've noticed that everything is getting more expensive. And with all this printing money and spending by the progressives, I'm concerned the dollar's end could be near. If the government continues this way, the dollar could freefall and lose its coveted role as the world's reserve currency. That's why there's never been a more important time to consider gold and silver to protect you and your family. And American Hartford Gold is the only company I'm happy to put my name behind. I have done business with them myself. It just takes a quick phone call and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA. Plus, tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. So please don't wait. Call 866-501-5201, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Bill O'Reilly here. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to the First TV YouTube page. Just hit the big red subscribe button below, and you'll get clips and highlights of my program, The No Spin News, every single day. We'll see you soon.